David Mark. I'll be your rabbi for the evening. Well, service, but we do have to light candles.
Where are the candles?
Over there. Please rise. All right, we wave our hands over the candles. We cover our eyes. The cantor will lead us. I will lead you in the blessing. It's Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat V'Shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat V'Shel Yom Tov. Amen. And we look around. We're glad to see friends we haven't made yet, family members. Let's make Shechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Shechayanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lahazman haseh. Amen.
And that's
Page 20. Now towards the ark.
Barechu et Adonai Hamevor. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Are we all done with the harvest moons then? Because we had some really lovely moons the last number of days or weeks. Let's read the middle paragraph in the English on 21. Praised are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk. Open the gates of dawn with wisdom. Change the day's division with understanding. Set the succession of seasons and arrange the stars in the sky according to your will. Lord of the heavenly hosts, you create day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness away from light. Eternal God, your rule shall embrace us forever. Praise you, Lord, for each evening's dusk.
Uma'avir yom, umevi laila. Umavdil ben yom uvein laila. Adonai Tsevaot Shemo El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai.
Second paragraph, bottom of 20.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותך, לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגן יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 22, we cover the eyes to show that God cannot be seen, and we sing the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Cover the eyes. Baruch Shem Kivon Malchuto. Let's read the English paragraph, please. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall you take to heart. You shall diligently teach them to your children. You shall repeat them at home and away, morning and night. You shall bind them as a sign upon your hand. They shall be a reminder above your eyes. You shall inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. Reading silently the following paragraph. The second paragraph in the English, and you'll notice we are not wearing the talit this evening. In ancient times, the rule was if you could see the tzitzit, if you could see the fringes, then obviously it's daytime and you wear the talit, but otherwise you don't wear it at night. The only time you wear it is called Nidre night, because we want to appear pure before God, and most talitot tend to be white, and also for Simchat Torah. But we can continue now. Continuing on 26, Cantor will lead us in the verse leading up to the
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לך אנו שירה בשמחה ואמרו מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורת עושה מלכותך פניך בוקע ים לפני משה, זה וביום Adonai lo leolam ונאמר, יפת אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Bottom left, English paragraph. This is the paragraph which we in this congregation customarily read for Jewish Levon, quick and speedy recovery. And I think what we can do is just call out the name of the person who's not well. I'll return with Refuah Shlema. Refuah Shlema. Refuah Shlema. Let's read the English paragraph on the lower left of 27. Help us, our Father, to lie down in peace. Awaken us to life again, our King. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us for the sake of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. You, O God, guard us and deliver us. You are a gracious and merciful King. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praise to you, Lord, who spreads a shelter of peace over us, over all his people, Israel, over Jerusalem and the entire world. Rosalenu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ato Adonai, Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, Yal Kol Amo Yisroel, Yal Yerushalayim, Kol Haolam Kulo.
Amen.
Please rise, Kendra will lead us to sing Shamru at the top, 28 on the right.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. תקעו בחודש שופר, בכסר ליום חגנו, כי חוק לישראל הוא משפט לאלוהי יעקב. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה קירותי בימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגדלה ובזמן קריב וברוך יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי המיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה שירתה תושבחתה בנפתה דהמירה בימה ויברוכה.
30 to 39. When you're done, you may be seated.
and the meditations of my heart be acceptable, before you, O God, my rock, my rock, and my Redeemer. Amen. Amen.
Page 40.
Did you play a fool? No, no. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם. ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אליהו בונה שמיים וארץ. מגן אבות בדברו, מחיי מתים במאמרו. המלך הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי רצה להניח להם, כי רצה להניח להם, לבוא לעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד מאת ברכות. עוד אדון השלום מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי ומניח בקדושה לעמד ושני עונג זכר למעשה וראשית.
We're skipping the bottom paragraph on 40. We go directly to the full Kaddish on 42.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה בזמן קריב ויאמרו ויאמרו ויאמרו. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה. שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מכל חטא ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותיהון ובאותיהון דכל ישראל. קודם אבוהון דבישמיא ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו 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 אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו.
Please turn to 46 for the Kiddush. All please rise.
He's doing it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol am ורוממנו מכל השור, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה את יום השבת הזה, ואת יום הזיכרון הזה, יום זיכרון תרועה, באהבה מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך כל הארץ, מקדש השבת, מלך כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל. מלך כל הארץ, מקדש השבת וישראל, ביום הזיכרון. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Seated. Put the prayer books aside at this time. On behalf of the membership of Temple Shalom, the officers, the board of directors, we want to welcome you all to our services. We are on a marathon sort of thing, meaning that we start out tonight and we have the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, followed by, of course, Yom Kippur, Yom Kippur, which is a 24-hour fast. And over the years, I have studied the holiday, I've endured the holiday, I've had different people who've helped me with the holiday. And tonight I have the honor of sharing with you 5 questions to ask yourself before and during Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah gives us the gift of a sacred pause in our life. It's a time when we can sit back and examine not only the past year, but also the year to come. It's a time for reflecting on your values and beliefs. The quality of the questions you ask yourself impacts the quality of your life. Asking yourself these 5 questions before Rosh Hashanah will help you use the gift of this sacred time. When I was a child and on my way to shul, to synagogue, the East Side Torah Center, it was barely a 5-minute walk from my house. And I would watch my friends and neighbors likewise trooping off to shul. But there were other races, other ethnic groups on the Lower East Side in those days. There probably still are. And for them, it was just another night, just another evening, in this case, just another weekend. And I thought that, after all, the holiday is a sort of bubble. We remove ourselves from our daily affairs, our daily events, and we give ourselves completely to repentance. We examine our souls, we look for any speck of sin, and we resolve to excise it, to remove it, to take it away from our hearts, our minds, and our lives. So the first question is as follows. What have I learned in the past year? What can you learn from your successes? And more importantly, what can you learn from your mistakes? A great deal happens over the course of the year. It can seem like a blur. If it's possible, make a list, mental or otherwise, of the highlights and transitions that you experienced, and some crucial lessons will emerge. You can see patterns that helped you succeed and habits that led to mistakes. Number 2, what are my goals for the coming year? What would you like to do more of? What would you like to decrease? I'm speaking here about moral activities. This pause that the Jewish New Year gives you can help you extricate yourself from just living in survival mode. And we step back to reflect on which goals we'd like to accomplish in the coming year. Which areas would we like to grow in? What are our priorities? What would we like to take out of our schedule? What would we like to add that would enhance our lives and align with our values? A very important question is number 3. Where is God in my life? Now, I've said many, many times, if you are Jewish, if you do not necessarily believe in the God of the Bible or the God of the Talmud or the God of the philosophers, it's really okay. The important thing is to do mitzvot, to do good deeds, and to try not to hurt anyone. But I believe in God. You could say, well, he's a rabbi. For your information, there's an entire denomination of Jews, the Jewish humanists, who identify with Judaism, the holidays, the books, the literature, but they don't necessarily identify with the deity. But I'm one of the old-fashioned types. I believe in God. And my reasons are not necessarily Thomas Aquinas's. They're not similar to the person who believes that you've got the prime mover and the first cause. No. All of my life, even when I was in graduate school and questioning everything, I said to myself, somebody has got to be running the universe. And it gives me a certain comfort to know that this being loves us, that this being judges us, and that we are responsible to God at the end of days. The idea, of course, is to have more mitzvot than chetim, That is, to have more good deeds than sins. God is closer in these days, even if we're not sure how to pray or connect with him. There's a sacred closeness now that you can access. Ask yourself if there's space, if you've made space for God in your life. Are you appreciating the awe-filled world around you and the myriad ways in which God orchestrates miracles in your own life? Nobody's life can possibly be so miserable that they don't have miracles. The sun comes up in the morning, the moon comes up at night, and we should be grateful, absolutely grateful. We can start with the short Modeh Ani prayer. That's the one we do at the beginning of every service. Modeh Ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam, shechazarta bi nishmati b'chemla, rabba emunatecha. It's nothing like a Jewish day school education. I am grateful to you, God, that you have returned to me my soul, and great is your faithfulness. When you first open your eyes in the morning, you thank God for the gift of a new day. You can try saying the Shema before you go to sleep. When I was in high school, this was a dilemma because we wore yarmulkes night and day all the time, but we didn't wear it when we were in bed. Our very dedicated rabbi, he was an idealist, said, you don't have to wear the yarmulke when you sleep. You just tilt your head back against the pillow so that your head is touching the section of pillow, which is normally covered with a yarmulke. I must say, that was my first introduction to Jewish hermeneutics, and I've never forgotten it. We Jews can make it simus about anything. Before we go to sleep, try to express not only gratitude for what happened that day, but to express a desire for a connection with God and an acknowledgement of his importance in your life. Number 4, what am I most grateful for? Gratitude. A lot of my students who are Christians talk about gratitude. They are grateful. Our own great playwright, that is Stephen Sondheim, in one of his best-known works, Company, wrote a song called Sorry, Grateful. Every human relationship has something sorry about it, but it also has gratitude about it. You just have to figure it out. Don't forget the small and big things for which you're grateful. Remember, of course, your health, your family, food, shelter, education, the ability to make a living. Sometimes we forget how much we have because we have so much. And finally, number 5, which relationships in our lives need our attention? This is the one which I find personally most painful. Is there someone you need to apologize to? Is there someone to whom you are indebted for so many years of your life, and you wonder if that can ever be put right? There is always a chance, and I will tell you why. There was a rabbi, let's call him the Salanter Rebbe. I always say when I tell these stories about rabbis, they kind of meld into one big rabbi. So let this one be the Salanter. The Salanter had insomnia, and he would take long walks in the town where he lived. And one night, it was pitch black, don't forget, this was the 18th century. He found himself in a section of town he had never been before. And he could barely see, he could barely put one foot in front of the other. But then he saw there was a candle in the window of this building, and it turned out it was a shop. It was a shop owned by a shoemaker. And the Rebbe went in, and the shoemaker greeted him, even though he didn't know him, and said, have a seat. And for a few minutes, the Rebbe watched the man, the shoemaker, tapping away at a sole and fixing the top of a boot and so on and so forth. And eventually, the Rebbe said to him, is it hard work to do? And the man smiled and said, as long as the candle burns, it is possible to get the work done. As long as we are alive, it is possible to make amends, to talk to someone you may have wronged and promise them sincerely that you're going to try and make it right. It's not easy. And obviously, there's a difference between wronging someone that you love dearly and, I don't know, not tipping the waiter sufficiently in the restaurant, although I have a relative in the restaurant business and he tells me you better give a good tip. Well, put aside some time to ask yourselves these questions to reflect and grow. I think that it will be very good for your soul. Thank you. Good Shabbos, good Yontif, and we'll proceed now. To the Aleinu. I also did want to sincerely thank our Chazanit, Anita Schubert, and we've enjoyed her beautiful tones this evening, and God willing, will go on tomorrow as well. 48 is the Aleinu. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liotze bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo asanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, Bigod Aleinu kechol ha'onam, va'anachnu kore'im, umishtachavim umodim, livnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Kakatu v'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'neh ba v'hayam Adonai le'melech kol ha'aretz v'yom ha'u yeh Adonai Ushema, Ushema, Ushema.
The ark is closed. If you're saying Kaddish, please remain standing. Page 50 is the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, Amen.
Amen.
Ma divrach elute v'yamlich malchute. V'chayei chon v'yimei chon, v'chayei techol beit Yisrael. V'agala u'bizman kariv yimru.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Ulam Me'amaya.
Yitborach, Yishtabach, Yitboar v'tromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei nekudusha.
B'riyachu.
Ela min kol birchata, Ela li'ela, mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'yalma v'yimru.
Amen.
Hey shlama rabba v'shemaya, Hayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
Ose shalom v'mromav, huyase shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru.
Amen.
Seated. And page 52 is the special psalm for the High Holy Day season.
So there's a tune for the first sentence, which I introduced in Morning Minyan the last couple of weeks. So you'll be hearing it over the holiday. So jump in when you're ready. Adonai ori v'ishi mimira. Adonai ori v'ishi mimira. Adonai ma'oz chayai mimi'acha. Adonai ori. Adonai ori. Ori v'ishi mimira. Mimira. Adonai ori v'ishi mimira. Adonai ori v'ishi mimira. Adonai ma'oz chayai, mimi efchad. Adonai ori ve'yishi.
This time, we'll hear some welcoming words from our wonderful temple president, Ms. Rita Fleming.
I'm a little surprised and very privileged to wish you all a happy and a healthy new year. To see beautiful faces that I see only one time a year. To see all of you who I love dearly and who mean the world to me personally, and give me the strength to do the job that you've asked me to do. So I wish you all a happy, a healthy new year, one filled with joy, one filled with love, and one filled with Temple Shalom, which, as you know, is the sweetest shul on the planet. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll celebrate together. Shabbat Shalom.
And Cantor Anita will sing us out with the Adonalam.
No, the Yigdal.
Yigdal. Yes, page 52.
Please join me in this High Holy Days melody. Yigdal Elohim Chai ve'yishtabach nimtza ve'enel metziuto echad ve'yechid ke'ichudo ve'gam ein sof le'aduto ein lo demut haguf ve'ein lo guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kadmon lechol davar asher yivra Shon ve'en reshit l'reshito hino Adon olam v'chol notzai yoreh gedulato u'malchuto shefa nevuato netah Segulato vetifarto lo kam Israel kemoshe od navi umabi datemu nato Torah temet natal le'am Nevio Ne'eman Beito Lo Yachalif Ha'el Velo Yamid Dato Le'olami Le'zulato Sofer Ve'yodea Zeta Lesof davar bekatmato gomer leish chesed kemi balo noten lerashara kerishato Ishlach leketz yamin meshichenu lifdot mechakeketz Yeshuato מתים יחיה ברוב חסדו, ברוך אתם עד שם תהילתו, מתים יחיה ברוב חסדו, ברוך אתם שם תהילתו.
Please rise for the closing benediction.
May God bless you and keep you. May God bless you and keep you. May God's Spirit shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Ya'er pan Adonai panav v'chesed v'chunecha.
May God's presence be lifted toward you and grant to you shalom.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
So
Shabbos, good Yantif. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow, 9-ish.
Shana Tova, Shabbat Shalom.